Heartbreaking headlines coming from the icon of the seas, and this latest cruise news has me rethinking this entire YouTube channel. A knife attack and subsequent death is not news I'd ever expect coming out of the icon of the seas, and I'd really appreciate it if you chime in on something here by posting in the comment section below, because this latest cruise news has me rethinking the future of this entire channel. And I'll throw the question out there for those of you who like to hear the bottom line up front. I feel like cruise news has been one horrible story after another these days, and I'm thinking about rebranding this channel's name so that it doesn't just focus on the news. With a name like Cruise News Network, I feel obliged to report the news. But I kind of hoped that there would be more good news in the cruise industry, because I truly do love cruising and envision this channel making people want to get on board a ship. I would truly love and appreciate any input from you about the things that you would like to see and hear about on this channel, whether it's about cruising or perhaps about travel in general. Please post your comment below, and I thank you. And with that, I have to report that there's been a tragic incident that unfolded this past week aboard Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas Thursday night, when a crew member stabbed a fellow crew member and then died after jumping overboard, authorities confirmed. According to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the altercation happened off the coast of San Salvador Island in the Bahamas. At approximately 7:30 p.m. local time, a 35-year-old male crew member from South Africa allegedly stabbed a 28-year-old South African woman who was also a crew member. Following the attack, the man fled and jumped into the ocean. He was later found unresponsive and pronounced dead by medical personnel on the ship, police reported. The woman sustained stab wounds to her upper body and is currently in stable condition, according to authorities. Thank goodness. Passengers on board shared videos on social media showing crew members rushing into action after hearing the emergency code Oscar, Oscar, Oscar over the ship's intercom, a maritime signal indicating a person overboard. Those on board said the ship slowed and quickly changed course after the call went out. The case remains under investigation, and police say an autopsy has been scheduled. Icon of the Seas was on a 7-night voyage that departed from the port of Miami. This incident comes nearly a month after another high-profile event in which a father jumped off a Disney cruise ship to save his 5-year-old daughter who had fallen overboard while the vessel traveled between the Bahamas and Fort Lauderdale. In that incident, fortunately, both survived. This news of what happened on board the Icon of the Seas couldn't come at a worse time for Royal Caribbean, with the next Icon-class ship about to kick off its inaugural year in just a matter of weeks. But Royal Caribbean isn't the only one to have bad news to share. News of what happened on a Carnival cruise is also topping the headlines, with 4 American cruise ship passengers arrested in Bermuda after authorities allegedly found them in possession of drugs so potent they were historically used to sedate elephants. According to the Bermuda Police Service, the individuals, passengers on a Carnival Cruise Line vessel, were taken into custody after ship officials reportedly uncovered, quote, a significant quantity of illegal drugs and drug paraphernalia, end quote, on board. Police stated that among the drugs seized was the synthetic opioid carfentanil, which is about 100 times more potent than fentanyl. Let that sink in. Investigators believe the drugs were intended for distribution on the island. So with that news rounding out today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you chime in by posting your comments below about what you'd like to see from this channel in the future, and quite frankly, whether news like this tends to negatively influence your future cruise plans, which is the exact opposite of what I had hoped this channel would offer my viewers. Because with a name like Cruise News Network, I feel obligated to bring you the news, but to be quite honest, headlines these days have even people like me questioning whether I want to continue cruising quite as much as I do. These are not the kinds of stories that I feel truly represent the vast majority of the cruising experience. In fact, I'm going to close this video in a way I've never done before, with a beautiful sunset, so that you can remember that that's what cruising is all about. As always, thank you for watching, for subscribing, for commenting, and for making this channel such a wonderful, supportive community. I'm so grateful for you.